So I'm actually, wait a minute, I look kind of weird. Let me change back into something a little more, human. Well, that was weird. Anyways, I really love the first Bad Guys movie. It was really just a case of coming out at the perfect time. In a year where a buttload of animated movies was being released, the Bad Guys managed to stand out from the rest, most notably because it was DreamWorks' first time trying out the now crazy popular hybrid 2.5 animation style. It's crazy to think that all it took was one movie, one studio to radically reshape modern animation. And that same studio is ironically helping to animate DreamWorks movies now. Because apparently Bad Guys 2 is both a DreamWorks and Sony Pictures Imageworks production. And any other time I would be worried about a studio like DreamWorks outsourcing animation, but because it's Sony, I have no qualms. Back to what I was saying, before Spider-Verse it wasn't really that directors and animators didn't want to try new visual styles, but that no studios or execs would back them up on trying it. Now it feels like animated movie directors get way more creative freedom when it comes to their project, not just visually but also narratively. The Bad Guys was the beginning of DreamWorks' new renaissance, which ended almost immediately the following year, but I mean, what are you gonna do as DreamWorks? They're so consistently inconsistent. They can release one of the most forgettable animated movies ever one year, and then one of the most beautiful cinema experiences ever the next. As far as Bad Guys, the animation was super slick and stylized, the characters were really likable with some impeccable voice work, and though it wasn't as nuanced as a movie like Zootopia, it still offers some really affecting messages about friendship, reforming, and society designated labels. So the prospect of a sequel happening was really exciting to me, even if the internet's reaction to these movies still kinda scares me. There has to be some people behind the scenes purposely stoking the furry flame. DreamWorks officials started releasing thirst trap edits of characters, like, are you kidding me? That being said, it is actually still really good. This is definitely a sequel that's just more of the first film, and I really can't emphasize more enough. More action, more music, more romance, and even a little more nuance, which I appreciated. The movie picks up not too long after the first movie. The bad guys have gone good and are trying to find new jobs, but society just won't give them a second chance. They accidentally get entangled with a group of female criminals, the bad girls, who are bent on pulling off the world's biggest heist by stealing all the gold on the planet. There's a wrestling match, a robbery in Egypt, and a wedding heist, you know, just to keep things interesting. Yeah, there is a lot happening in this movie, but weirdly enough, this movie never felt overstuffed or too drawn out to me. A problem I've been having with a lot of recent espionage movies, heck just movies in general lately. The characters do have to do a lot of what are essentially side quests to get everything they need to pull off the climactic heist, but those sequences are so fun and breezy it never feels like a drag, or even worse, disjointed. A big part of that is owed to just how top-notch the animation is. It's so gleefully silly and infectiously energetic. You can't help but get into it, especially during the action sequences, which are, oh my god, so good. The opening heist in Cairo, Egypt is so action-packed, it could easily pass for a climax in most animated movies. And the camera work is so dynamic. A lot of recent animated movies have had dope cinematography. So many of the shots make you feel like you're right in the middle of the action, and it's really engaging because of it. And DreamWorks character animation has always been S tier. Like, people don't talk about enough how amazing the character animation is in movies like How to Train Your Dragon. Like, every little detail and movement makes Hiccup feel so believable. Here it's less about being natural and more about being crazy expressive, and I love that. But the more simplistic designs really allow the characters to be cartoony and over the top without it feeling weird or forced. While Elio seemed like it was trying to still be grounded by some level of realism, this movie was not. And I gotta say, it was better for it. But of course, it's not all flash and style. There actually is a decent story underneath all the goofy expressions and acid trip action sequences. The core of the movie is about reforming, and more interestingly, how society is very resistant to the idea of second chances, mostly when dealing with ex-convicts and those with checkered past, which is honestly understandable from both perspectives. Wolf and all his friends have done everything they can to change for the better and gain everyone's trust, but after years of committing crimes, why would anybody trust them? So the movie follows Wolf grappling with the idea of whether he made the right choice leaving his old life behind. Like, it was harder for them when they were criminals, but still somehow easier. It's the lifestyle they were comfortable with. But the movie brings up how it's easy to stay the same, but it takes hard work and effort to change. Respect isn't just given to you, it has to be earned, especially after you screw up. It's a surprisingly compelling allegory, and the addition of the bad girls literally forcing them to go bad again makes it even more interesting. Speaking of the bad girls, they were pretty likable, if not a bit one note. Though Danielle Brooks' Kitty is kinda amazing, there's something so suave and laid back but also terrifying about her that's so engaging. Also, her character design is so good. Sam Rockwell fits Mr. Wolf so well, it's kinda surreal. Having this much ridge should be illegal. He perfectly captures Wolf's confidence but also insecurities. Everybody else is doing their usual shtick, just in top form. Mark Marone is still great as Mr. Snake, more excellent typecasting. Can kids movie not be a little bit sultry, no? That was my best French impression, by the way. Yeah, this movie is weirdly risque, and most of that comes from Mr. Snake. I can only think that the director being French has something to do with all the romantic undertones thrown in. And yes, that one scene is actually in the movie. Craig Robinson and Anthony Ramos have some great comedy as Shark and Piranha, and Awkwafina is still good as Webbs. Yes, I know she's overexposed, but a good performance is a good performance. Now, Diane Foxington feels like she had both more and less to do in this movie. She spends most of the movie apart from the bad guys, but she still gets a couple of cool scenes, and is more integral to the plot, so yeah, I guess she technically had more to do. She's not like female Silver Surfer levels of overpowered like she kinda was in the first movie. Nobody can and should be that OP. Still a good character, it's just that needed to be said. Daniel Pemberton's score is still great, not quite as good as Spider-Verse, but I don't think anything will top those soundtracks. It's like his magnum opus. Now, as far as flaws, the movie can feel a bit too visually busy at times. I think that just comes along with his style though. Mutant Mayhem and even Spider-Verse suffered from the same issue. The movie starts off strong with a reforming message, but it kind of feels like it doesn't fully follow through with it by the end. But now that I think about it, it didn't give up on the message, it just took a different route than I expected. Basically, it shouldn't always be about proving to others that you're good, as long as you know that you're doing the right thing. Validation isn't necessary. At least that's what I got from the message. I don't know, don't at me though. As mentioned previously, I thought Joom and the pig were cute, but ultimately kind of forgettable, and I have to deduct points for fart jokes even if they do make me laugh. Darn it, Dreamwork. But overall, this was a darn good sequel, and I recommend it to anyone who liked the first movie or just wants to watch something to get their sillies out. It was so much fun, it felt like a crime. Sorry, I had to make that obligatory joke before this review ended. The art side of the internet will be that much more crazy for the next couple months, but we'll survive. Besides, this is just the appetizer. The real main course will be here in November. Oh man, please be good. It was surprisingly hard trying to find people to watch this movie with me because nobody has seen the first movie apparently. I'm like, where have you guys been? That movie is so good. And then when I went to the theater with my friend, like, I think something was happening with the projector, so it kept malfunctioning and the screen was black, so we had to wait like 15 minutes for the movie to come on. They were doing commercials and then like it stopped randomly and the movie just started. It was kind of weird, but I guess that's kind of like a memorable theater experience, but I had fun with this movie. It was really fun. That's the most I can say for it. I probably will like go and watch it again because animation is just that enjoyable, and the characters too, they're really fun, so I definitely recommend it. Thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you all soon whenever I see you. Bye.